Hey everybody, it's another episode of Law Punx. Today with us on the show is Antti. Hey Antti.
Hey, how's everything?
Very good, very good, very good. Antti has got a very strong point to make, which is going to knock your socks off, and I'm not going to preempt it. Antti, take it away.
Thanks for having me, Richard. Good to be here. My name is Antti Innanen. I'm a lawyer, law firm founder, and an AI builder. And since this is a Law Punx blast, I want to rant about something. So here it goes. There is a story that everyone in legal tech keeps telling, and it sounds good. It's very comforting. It goes like this. We're only automating the tedious, the repetitive stuff, the boring work, the grunt work. And this frees up lawyers to do what they're actually good at, which is the strategic, the high value, the human centered work. And everyone repeats it. It's in LinkedIn everywhere. It's in every pitch deck, every press release. And it's kind of like one of those narratives that makes this technology feel very safe. But I think it's fundamentally wrong. And, let me be very direct. I ran a law firm before. I actually know what legal work looks like. And this is the reality. Most legal work is just regular work. I mean, it's not tedious, and I actually like my legal work, but it's not like particularly strategic either. So not all legal work is strategic. Regular legal work is quite regular. Furthermore, doing strategic legal work is very, very hard. I'm a regular human being. I have troubles of like focusing for like couple of hours during the day. Anyways, like imagine if I would do 8 hours of this highly strategic bet the company legal work every day and then go pick up my kids from school. We're just humans. Like we can't really do 8 hours of like bet the company highly strategic work either.
Mm-hmm.
And let me continue with my rant. I'm getting warmer here. So even if we accept the premise that we can actually separate this very tedious work from strategic work and we can automate the boring stuff away, the next question is like, then what? What happens to all the lawyers? Like what happens to us? Because this is what actually happens to us. I think that the strategic work, first, it concentrates. It goes to the domain experts. Maybe it goes to the partners, maybe people who have built relationships and reputation, the people who can actually do the very high level work. But for a regular associate, a mid-level lawyer like me, maybe it doesn't materialize that way. And, there isn't like an infinite queue of high level, meaningful projects waiting for us. That's not how law firms work, and that's not how legal departments. So we're back to what are lawyers doing if the tedious work is automated and they don't have the seniority or the capabilities for highly strategic work. And this is like a little bit of our own little Fermi problem that I'm going to present here. So if we are seriously accepting this narrative that in the near future, lawyers will only do meaningful, strategic, high value work, then why aren't we doing anything about it as a profession? If that would be true, then we should be racing to upskill, taking courses in strategy, learning how to do human centric work, maybe, I don't know, developing business development skills, learning to build for clients. But we're not really doing that. Not as a profession, not systematically, not very urgently. I don't see it. If we are going to concentrate on high value work, then, where is the upskilling? Why aren't we doing anything? Why is that? Because I think that deep down, we don't really believe in this narrative. We know that most legal work is still regular legal work. Regular, important, maybe valuable too, but regular, And this brings us to my second major problem with this narrative. I'm getting warmer here, so I'm going to just continue on ranting. I don't really trust the vendors who are making these commitments. When a legal tech company tells me that we are only automating the tedious work and we are preserving the strategic work, it is just a current technical limitation, not necessarily a moral commitment. It's not an ethical stance. It's just what they can currently do with the technology. And what happens the moment they can do a little bit more? What happens when the technology gets a little bit better? Why would they voluntarily stop at this point? Why would they leave that value on the table? And I haven't really seen a single vendor approach this problem from a lawyer's point of view. I don't know if they should do that, but it would be refreshing to hear somebody to talk from a lawyer's point of view what's good for the legal profession perspective. Of course, they have no obligation to lawyers. Their obligations is to their investors, to their growth, maybe their, I don't know, marketing position. So the next time you hear somebody saying we are only automating routine work, maybe you should ask, like, okay, what happens when you can automate more?
Mm.
When, I don't know, GPT-7 arrives, can it do what
Which it
senior
will.
lawyers will do? I think that the naming convention will be so crazy that probably it's not going to GPT-7. It's going to be something totally
Yeah.
different. But why would they stop there and protect human work, or will they just deploy everything that they can?
Well,
And we are,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
No, no, I think it's an extremely good point. You made loads of good points. Well, I'm going to just do a very quick summary. So I think key point, yes, by its very nature, it's implicit that high value strategic work will be far smaller in size, in total market size, than everything else. It's just, that is, it's an existential reality. That is how it is. Secondly, do people actually want to do super, super stressful, high value advice and thinking all day, every day? Some people do, and some people have that capacity. Many others do not. It's absolutely right. Or basically would want to, really, just would they want to do that? And then I think the other point about training, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're still training lawyers to be lawyers. And that, of course, that sounds kind of like, kind of slightly obvious. But yeah, of course, law schools and law firm training routines train you to be a lawyer. They don't train you to do business development necessarily. They don't train you to think strategically in the big picture in the same way that someone who's done an MBA at Harvard or something, or, Wharton business school, whatever. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think this is, you put your finger right on the challenge. I mean, to wrap up your final point, which is that the vendors don't want to talk about this too much. Because perhaps maybe they believe it. I think some of them actually do genuinely. I don't think they're being clever. I think they do genuinely believe this. But your point that the tech will progress. I mean, I was in a webinar a while ago, and this lady was saying, "Well, of course, AI can't do judgments, can't make big decisions, can't do proper reasoning." And I was like, "Well, yeah, but it will eventually. And then when it does, then what happens?" You know, maybe we say, well, we don't accept the AI's judgment. We don't allow the AI to reason. Back to you, Antti. So here we are. What's the solution?
Well, I don't have like a silver bullet or any solution, but the thing
Mm,
is that we're moving so fast right now that these questions are very urgent. And yet I think that we're talking about like things like how to write better prompts or which tools to use in legal profession.
mm,
And that's fine. That might be useful, but that's not really the conversation we should be having. We should talk about what are we actually doing to legal profession? What is our responsibility here? Or what is the vendor's responsibility? Are we helping lawyers, or are we just making it easier for firms to do more with fewer people? And these are very uncomfortable questions. I realize like these are not like fun questions, so we don't maybe ask them. We talk about features and pilots and different versions of GPT or Claude when they arrive. So, but
mm,
but I think that the stakes are very high actually here. And I
mm,
want to be, be clear about something, that I'm not against legal tech. I love legal tech. I've built legal tech. I'm building it right now, but I'm also deeply concerned of where this is heading. And I think the solution is to have these uncomfortable discussions about
mm,
our future, how
mm.
it looks like
Well,
from all angles.
just to wrap up then, I mean, implicit with what you're saying is, I mean, all things being equal, right? Let's say that overall legal demand will generally increase because the world gets more complex and there's more people, more companies, etc. Right? But put that to one side. Broadly, if automation expands and accelerates and becomes better and higher quality, more accurate, so forth, gets deeper and deeper and deeper and goes higher up the value chain, it seems therefore implicit in what you've just said that we will have less lawyers in the future, fewer lawyers in the future. There's no way around that. But there will have to be a contraction, because these two forces, even though there is a steady increase in demand overall, if the automation aspect is pushing down on that, eventually.
No, I 100% agree with you, but this is the thing that I keep coming back to, is that we are confusing our work with our work product. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but this is a little bit like the same idea that confusing the map with the territory. Because there is this idea that, because AI can do legal tasks, AI is replacing lawyers. And therefore, lawyers need to evolve into strategic work. But I think that's confusing the map with the territory. Legal work is what we currently do, the tasks, the little activities, but it's not us. It's not who we are. We are not legal tasks. We are lawyers who solve people's problems, who think critically, who,
Mm.
I don't know, navigate complexity, build relationships. And some of that work is, of course, expressed through legal tasks, but the work itself is much bigger than these little legal tasks that would get automated. So I think that still when AI automates legal tasks, it doesn't mean that, lawyers as such are being automated, even if it would mean full total replacement of all legal tasks. So maybe, I don't want the question to be like, how do we transition into strategic work? I want us to focus to focus in the question that what is a lawyer? What is our work in a world where these tasks are automated? And that's maybe bigger, more interesting question than can we do a little bit more strategic work? I really believe that we can evolve as a profession. We are not constrained by the tasks what we used to do. And I've said this before, lawyers are smart, resourceful people. And we're resilient too. We're like cockroaches. We're very, very difficult to get rid of. We're only constrained by our imagination of what lawyers could be, right? So I think that we are confusing the map with the territory,
Yeah.
confusing the lawyer with legal tasks.
Fantastic. On that point, have to leave it. Thanks, Antti. Good stuff. Thank you.